Right, that's there. See, this one, I really don't understand. In fact, it is kind of the ultimate. I just don't get it. And at last, that has been commissioned. And guess what the definition of... No, actually, they didn't grind me down. I've never done it before. I'm going to test that. It was empty. I'm going to leave it in the sun for 5 or 6 hours and see how much charge that gives me. Phone, laptop. Anyway, I just don't understand it. This is a common that's been here probably hundreds of years. It's marked on the Ordnance Survey. It's actually on Get Outdoors as well. 11 acres. Occasionally, even though I put my tripod up, just in case. But I've been coming up here 10 years, and I came up a lot in 2021. Farmers will come, maybe once a day. They see me. Never, ever approach, thank God. A couple of old women come and walk by. I just don't get it. There's a town 2.5 miles away. There's a large town 17 miles away. Don't trust van people is basically the moral of the story. Why do I say that? Because there are van people floating around, a few of them. Nobody ever, I've never seen another van parked here. And I've parked up here sometimes for 2 or 3 days at a time, and I'm going to park up here 2 or 3 days now. Why do I say don't trust van people? They all make out that they're looking for quiet and... Okay, this is not on Park 4 Night app, which is absolutely hopeless anyway. But they make out they're looking for quiet peace, getting away. Why doesn't everybody know about this place? Nope. And I've actually told 3 or 4 who I know are quiet and couldn't possibly dream of living in litter. No, they want to perform their vanning by the small towns. That's almost 99% of them. And if your greens actually spoke of, you don't need to take a flight. Here I'm in the middle of Wales. It's a northerly wind, 10 knots, I was going to say, miles an hour. It's absolutely brilliant. I'll have a fantastic tan by the end of the afternoon, which is not entirely for conceit reasons. Do you know, there was one thing. The tragedy of the lost drug gobbler. It really is tragic. She knew all the birds, most of the birds' names, many of the flowers' names. You just have to accept life is tragic. It seems to have become a lot more so. There's one other thing about her. It crossed my mind half an hour ago. I have no idea. They perform. She didn't know. In fact, those were the facts of her, because I heard her actually name the birds and many trees and many flowers. It's tragic. Oh well. So be it. Oh, the other thing, I know what it was. Yeah, with all these kind of truly, terrible emotional abuses, real ones, not made up. I listen to people's stories. As we were talking through the future, it's like, even your bloody cannabis and whatever. Many people who've had lives of drugs or alcohol then end up replacing with sugar. Now, I never buy any sugar. That's been bought because I'm down on money, and I got 2 bags of porridge and 1 spoon of that in the porridge. But she really, really was adamant. Yes, she knew. She was adamant. I was really impressed that refined sugar, as is in the great book, The Seeds of Change, that I read 20 years ago and stole from the BBC library, except I didn't really. That's a joke I tell. But it does have a stamp. I've still got it. It's kind of the only substance that's non-psychotropic, which actually does have a kind of semi-psychotropic effect on you in terms of mood, and it does negatively affect your body for good, permanently. And she even got that. But she was, as soon as I mentioned it, I said, look, things to try and improve for the future. Having seen her buy a box of chocolate biscuits, even though really, really sweet chocolatey things, even though she's poor. And using other people for their money, not me, not a penny. That's important. That's equality of sorts. Never, never, never. The bottom line is, unless someone's had kids, no, they don't deserve you to really pay a price. But she was so adamant. Yes, my mum really is addicted to sugar, having been addicted to alcohol 20 years earlier, 30 years earlier, 40 years earlier. Yeah, it's just a replacement, and it affects your mood. And very few people do I encounter that have that wisdom, but she's lost. There we go, so be it. I mean, it's just bloody paradise. Why have I never seen another van here? Or even someone coming up for a picnic. I have never, ever seen anyone coming up for a picnic here. 2 or 3 people drive up so rarely and take their dogs for a walk. I just don't get it. I do not get this country anymore at all. I just don't get it. There is no official common like this anywhere for many miles.